32M. Caught my 31F girlfriend sending "I love you" texts to a guy she told me was a friend. Too long did not read. I, 32M. Caught my 31F girlfriend sending "I love you" texts to a guy she told me was a friend. My girlfriend and I have been dating for 6 months now, and our relationship has grown significantly since. When we met, she had just gotten out of a long-term relationship, 8 years. And so had I. Her ex, Tom, had gotten rather dependent on her for financial help towards the end of their relationship, but was not showing signs of being romantically invested, and that ultimately was what motivated her decision to break up. When we started dating, she made it apparent that she has a few friends from years back that she has grown rather close to, and majority of them are guys. A group of about 4 guy friends, and they are all mutual friends. As I would assume it would be for most guys. I was a little uncomfortable with that fact, but chose to give her and her friends the benefit of the doubt in believing what they have truly is a genuine friendship. Case 1. About a month ago, I learnt that she has been sending Tom money periodically upon request from him. He would make up stories like he needs fuel money, his mother is sick, he lost his work computer, his car got broken into and robbed, his phone got stolen, etc. How valid those tales are, I will never know, but if that is always your only motivation to speak to your ex, then according to me, it is safe to assume that you only see her as a walking ATM you used to date. One afternoon, I brought her lunch to work, sadly found her in not the best of moods. When I asked what is bothering her, she told me that Tom had just called earlier in the day with another sob story and he had asked her for some money. She then admitted to having sent him money just a few weeks prior because he had said his phone had been stolen, so she sent him money to buy one which he had not to date. I try my hardest to stay out of her interactions with Tom, as she has made it clear that though they have broken up, she still deeply cares for him and cannot let him struggle if she can do anything to help. However, on that day, I chose to tell her that I truly think that he is using her for money and does not seem to care about her well-being. This is clear in their interactions, as he only reaches out to her when he needs money. Which is pretty much all the time. I ended it by telling her that ultimately the choice is hers, but I hate to see her being used. We then agreed that she would stop sending him money regardless of whatever story he comes up with. Still on this phone matter, when he initially reached out to tell her he needed help with a phone, she then resorted to asking me about phone prices under the guise of wanting to purchase a secondary phone for herself. As her partner, I made recommendations, though her reasoning for getting that phone didn't make the most sense. Weeks later, when she was telling me about him asking for more money, I then reminded her that a few weeks prior, she had told me that she had wanted to get herself a phone while in actual fact, it was Tom she wanted to get a phone for. I pointed out how betrayed that made me feel for the fact that she chose to lie to me in that moment and essentially prioritized Tom over me in that moment, because now I have to deal with the harsh reality that she lied to me. Fast forward to a few weeks later, Tom sends yet another message to her asking for money. Upon asking what she is going to do, she responded by saying that she is conflicted. That absolutely threw me off, and in that moment I lost my cool. I asked how much in total she has lent him, and she estimated $5,000. The actions that follow are not my proudest moments, but I harshly instructed her to let him know in that moment that she will not be sending him any money going forward, and he should come up with a payment plan as to how she will repay her all her money. He then replied to say he understands and he will do so. That was the last of it until 2 days ago. We get up to get ready for work, and just as we are about to leave the house, say around 0730 hours, I see a missed call notification from Tom and casually let her know that Tom just called. Just so that she is aware that I know. I can't imagine any other reason he would call her aside wanting to ask for money, but I didn't want to get into it that early in the morning. We left for work, and throughout the day I hoped that she would tell me what Tom had called about, as this has now become a sensitive topic. Nothing was said until we got back home in the evening. Still nothing was said throughout the night. We cooked, she baked brownies, showered, and still at no point was the elephant in the room addressed. In disappointment, we went to bed because I truly just did not want to probe, and genuinely hoped that she would see the need in letting me into their interaction without me always having to ask. Case 2. The same evening, after cooking and baking, she lets me know that she will be taking some of the brownies to one of her friends from the group of male friends, Mike. I met Mike about a month ago when my girlfriend and I had gone shopping and just so happened to run into him. She introduced us, had a brief chat, and went on about our day. Mike was in a car accident some time ago, and as a result, his lower limbs have been compromised since, so he lives with chronic pains. The brownies that my girlfriend delivers to him every so often are meant to help alleviate that pain, THC. So when she says to me that she will be dropping some off with him, I was understanding for that reason. Further than that, I don't have any knowledge on the intricacies of their relationship. So the time is about 2230 hours when we go to bed. Alarm set, off we go. 0400 hours this morning the first alarms start ringing on both our phones. I turn mine off, then I turn hers off. I then see a message notification on her phone that reads, "Anything that can help. I love you too." 3 heart emojis, that was all I got to read. This suggests that before she passed out, she had sent Mike a message to let him know that she baked him brownies and that she loves him. I got up from bed distraught, went to the bathroom and took a long shower trying to cool myself down. Soon as I got out, I went back to bed to warm my body up a bit and found her on her phone watching YouTube videos. So this means she saw the message at this point. I lay next to her and kept to my phone. 5 millines in she asks me if I'm okay. I proceed to let her know that no, I am not okay because I just saw a disturbing message in her phone. She proceeds to say, "Oh, the one from Mike?" I confirm, then she proceeds to say, "Oh, he is just a friend, you know that. I only love him as a friend." I asked her if she considers that to be normal behavior to be texting a friend damn near midnight to let him know that she loves him when she is laying next to me. Her rebuttal was that she loves her friends and she was just letting him know. So I just said okay because I still did not believe what had just happened. Additionally, before addressing anything I just wanted to ask around from women I know if that was normal behavior. She then shortly after got out of bed, showered and got ready, probably the fastest I have ever seen her, and left extremely early for work. You would have thought she was at least an hour late. We spent the whole day not talking, which is unlike us, until later in the afternoon when she sent funny video from IG like all is normal. I responded back with laughing emojis and that was it until we met back at home after work. Now we have another huge elephant in the room. Normally I am the one to bring things up that need to be addressed, but today I couldn't get myself to do it because I just did not feel like being lied to. I didn't want to get hurt any further, so we engaged in the most robotic small talk about work. Then shortly after, I went into my home office to do some work. She then went to shower and straight to bed without saying good night. I am honestly at a crossroads and have no clue yet what my next move will be. I thinks I just need to know if it is normal for friends to say I love you to each other with heart emojis and all. Pardon my typos. Never ignore red flags, my guy. If something feels off, it probably is. You should have dumped her when she lied to you to cover up the fact that she was talking to her ex. You should definitely dump her now. No, it's not. You should immediately separate yourself from this person. Do they beg to get you back or run to talk to their friend? Their reaction will tell you all you need to know. I'll say it again. Dating is to find someone who is a good match for you. You don't just pick someone and beat each other into submission. This is a garbage relationship, get out. Relationships should not be this hard, dude. Time to find someone you can trust. My girlfriend, 36 female, dumped me, 37 male, after 18 years. How do I cope? Man, I messed up big time. Listen to that Bruno Mars song, When I Was Your Man, or whatever it's called. It's like the story of my life right now. I can't sum up all the good and bad stuff we've been through in 18 years, but let me break it down. I think she's just tired of me, and damn, it hurts. We've been together since we were kids. I was 18 and she was 17 when we met on MySpace. Marriage was never a big deal for us. It didn't matter. I was very romantic for the vast majority of our relationship. I took her out on dates. I planned vacations. I would set up park picnics. I would set up little art dates where we'd hang out somewhere and bring our paint, drawing stuff. I would come over to her house and cook her fancy meals. She was constantly told how lucky she was to have me. Please understand, I haven't been shit for the entire 18 years. I was actually pretty badass. However, for the past 2-3 years, I've been struggling with money, underemployed. Never unemployed. I've never needed her to pay any of my bills. Ever, and depression. But at least not money anymore though. I have 2 remote jobs now and I'm gonna make almost $100K per year. She lucked up and started working for a company that got bought out because of some good work she did for them, and they bonused her $30,000 on top of raising her pay to $80,000 per year. She's been the breadwinner for the last 2/3 of a year now. The roles were very much reversed when we first met. I was paying her bills all the time. But, the damage has already been done. For the last 2–3 years I couldn't take her out on dates or vacations or any of the romantic things I was doing. Stuff like going to the park or riding bikes was getting played out. We ended up drinking a lot more than we already do. We've always drank a lot, but now it's bad. We've never been abusive and we keep it pretty chill even when super drunk. We just drink. A lot. She's got these 2 male best friends, they're a couple, who she has more fun with than me. But all they do is sit at the bar and get wasted. The same thing we would be doing. No excuses though. I should have been more creative, made her feel special. Showed her that she's the best person I've ever met. But no, I got lazy and poor, took everything for granted, not on purpose, that's for sure. I thought she'd never leave me, each other is all that we know. Egg on my face. The other night she came home super drunk from the bar and was surprised to see me still awake. Let me tell you, the look she gave me. Fucking hell, I knew it was over. If looks could kill, I wouldn't be here writing this. It was the scariest, wickedest look I've ever seen from her. I asked her, "What's wrong?" and she flat out told me, "You." 2 days later, she broke up with me. It's been 4 days since I got dumped. And now, I gotta deal with this pain. In a few months, she'll be giving all of her love and attention to someone else. Some lucky guy will find an extremely attractive 36-year-old woman with a great job and no kids. That's rare these days. They'll have a great time together, making memories. Meanwhile, just the thought of someone else being with my girlfriend messes me up. It makes me physically sick. I thought I had food poisoning today. Now I'm thinking my body is just really tired and doesn't know what to do other than make me puke. And we still live together and share a bed until the end of the month when I move out. Last night, she came home at 3 a.m., woke me up and asked me, "Don't you enjoy being single? You can come home late and do whatever you want." I love it. She's already over me. 18 years. Gone. She's been going to an after-hour bars past 2 a.m. and coming back home at 6 a.m. I mean, I'm always going to be concerned about her safety, but I never tried to stop her. She's a grown woman. And trust me, we're not cheaters. Infidelity is not playing a role in any of this. She just wanted to get away from me. I'm that bad. I don't have many friends in real life. The ones that I do just keep telling me that I need to go have sex with someone else and that will magically fix all of my problems. My mom is taking my side instead of seeing my faults. I don't know how to handle this. I messed up, I know. She's not perfect, but if I did my part, I wouldn't be in this mess right now. So, there it is. Go ahead. Tell me how I screwed up. Tell me about your own relationships that went like this. Did you get back together? Do I even have a chance? Should I just give up and not even hope to be with her again? But mostly, if you have any good ideas on how to cope with this loss, I really need to hear them. I'm feeling so down, like rock bottom. My whole world got torn apart, and it feels like nobody cares or understands. My BFF of 18 years literally doesn't want a romantic relationship with me anymore. I am fucking tearing up just typing that sentence out. Geez. TLDR, I haven't been treating my girlfriend of 18 years like the absolute princess that she is, and she finally had enough and dumped me. And so hard to deal with. Neither of you had healthy coping mechanisms. This sounds like an extremely bad relationship if you're drinking all the time. I recommend stop drinking. Getting individual therapy. Go no contact. Work on yourself. Wait. Let me see if I understand this right. You used to be the breadwinner for the majority of the relationship. Even when you struggled with work, she didn't have to help cover more the bills. Until somewhat recently she only started making more? But you could no longer pay for vacations and fancy dates? Hey man, I'm sorry you're experiencing so much hurt right now. From what you've shared, you didn't do anything bad or evil, and you don't deserve to beat yourself up. I wish I knew what else to say, but you're not alone, and I genuinely hope your situation improves soon. Edit. Reading the other comments, I also highly recommend avoiding alcohol or other substances as a way to try and cope with the pain. They may seem like easy solutions, but they'll just cause more pain in the future. This has absolutely nothing to do with money. If she can't support you while you're going through a hard time, she's not it. 2–3 years of a rough time is a drop in the bucket compared to how long you two were good before that. If she wanted to go do nice things, why couldn't she pay for the two of you? My 30F husband, 32M, wants to amputate his legs and it's making me considering leaving him. Hi. So obviously this not your traditional relationship problem, but it is causing enormous strain on our relationship currently and making me consider leaving for the first time ever. Bit of backstory. Me and my husband have been together for 9 years, married for 5. I've never stopped loving him. He's an incredible guy, sexy, great personality, ambitious. I've always been so grateful for being able to find this type of amazing person and never once questioned, is this relationship the right thing to do? This is to say, I've always known that I love this guy. Seemingly the one problem my husband has is that he has terrible foot pain. I'm talking the works. Morton's neuroma, plantar problems, early arthritis. He's athletic and loves sports more than anything, yet his feet are constantly mangled and swollen, and he is in frequent pain and sometimes can't even stand up for a whole weekend. He has the routines and the stretching and the medical orthopedics and a podiatrist on speed dial, but it is a constant battle for him. So about 3 months ago my husband revealed something to me that shocked me to my core. He sat me down, was trembling a bit and visibly nervous, and told me that he had weighed a significant amount of options and done a lot of research and wanted to amputate his feet by 2024. He admitted he is pretending to have a condition called body integrity identity disorder on weird forums online, reached a doctor in Asia that is willing to do amputations on people that want them, and has a plan outlined for where he wants it cut under the knee, what he wants his recovery plan to look like, what prosthetic he thinks he would prefer, and even what his medical insurance plan will be next year. We had massively long conversations about this, but ultimately he made it clear that this is something he feels he needs to do to live a healthy and fulfilling life. He wants nothing more than for me to stay with him despite this insanity, but he also understands if it's all just too much for me. That really sucks because honestly this is just not ideal, and a bit too crazy for me, but I have nothing to compare it to. It's not like many other ladies face this problem. So yay. That's where I am at. I've been weighing it very closely the last few months. He's amazing. I would do almost anything to stay with him, but this feels like an extremely ridiculous scenario that is very jarring coming from an otherwise extremely reasonable and intelligent guy. He's not the type to make empty commitments or half-ass a plan. I do think he will go through with that, but this sorta upends everything I ever thought about us as a couple. We were the reasonable fun couple that had their shit together. Not the couple where the guy gets his legs chopped off in Asia by some sketchy doctor. And I think that's my problem. It's obviously one thing if he loses a leg to medical problems or to a war, but if he's just jetting over to Asia to willingly get them chopped off, it just seems a bit too much. So I know it's weird, but honestly, what do you think? Am I just being extra thinking about walking away due to this despite knowing he's the love of my life? He desperately needs help of some sort, be it a therapist or psychologist. Long-term pain is detrimental to your mental health. Many people who aren't able to find solutions for their pain even go on to end their lives. He isn't able to think clearly right now. He should go to an integrative medical clinic, especially one that does pain management and neuropathy. There are so many alternative therapies available. Cutting his feet off is not the answer. Insurance won't pay for a lot of these therapies, but he might just be healed. It seems to me this is a desperate attempt at a solution. But as others have pointed out, it may not actually be all that much help. I'm sure there is a doctor who is willing to do the amputations, but they have no vested interest in your husband's welfare. You've mentioned your husband being in therapy, which is good, but you might need to attend a couple of sessions and possibly he may need a new therapist. If he sees a specialist for pain, he may need to see a new one. And above all else, he needs to see a specialist in amputations closer to him who can talk him through why his perceived benefits of amputation may not be realized. Obviously I am not a medical professional, but has your husband tried cannabis, if that's legal where y'all live? My aunt is older and has arthritis and some other inflammatory issues, and she gets medical cannabis and she swears by it. Yeah, that's not a reasonable course of action. He needs mental health help. Why does my 25F boyfriend, 30M, check my phone every single time we meet? Whenever I see my boyfriend, he checks my phone. He will check my 1. Call history 2. Internet history 3. Text messages 4. WhatsApp 5. App Store purchases. He searches stuff on texts just in case any contacts have been deleted, and so he puts in a single letter to see what names come up. He'll call back people from the call history to make sure they're not male. He calls random people from my contact list. The other day he wanted to check my emails too. I was not comfortable with that at first because it is personal. I get work emails on it and a lot of private stuff gets sent out. He gave me the ultimatum that he would leave me if I didn't allow him to see, so I gave in. He also checks through my bag and my pockets. Why does he do this? He also is very insulting and makes me feel like I am lucky to be with him. He says I am ugly and he could do way better and that people always tell him he could do way better. Apparently a woman in the park was laughing and saying, he could do way better. I never heard this and I have very good hearing. He is the one who has very bad ears. He is so shallow that all he can comment on is physical appearance, and not to be cocky or anything, but I do own mirrors. I am in good shape. I don't like to wear makeup, but I still look cute without it. I don't know why he would try to make me insecure on purpose. We met when I was 15 and he was 21 and started a relationship when I was 17 and he was 23. We have been on and off since then. We barely even meet since the last few years, and I feel relieved because I don't get investigated like a criminal. Usually he'll get mad at me and block me for a few weeks, then unblock me and say he wants to make it work again. He gets pissed off because apparently I don't give him time, don't call and text, don't show affection and don't seem to care. Of course I don't. I've grown cold towards him because of the years of abuse. I would not even resent him so much if his abuse was just directed towards me. He has even in the past sworn at my family, called them low caste. They're not, but that doesn't matter. Even if they were, he shouldn't be saying it. Years ago he had called my father and swore at him in a drunken state. I became a laughingstock and my father was so upset. I feel guilty about it till date. The only reason why I am with him is because I feel lonely, have abandonment phobia and feel like nobody else will want to marry me. Yet I don't want to marry this guy at the same time. Sometimes I get emotional because in the past he did some nice things for me, like he got me food a few times and he fed me, and I have never had that kind of affection growing up without a dad in my life. My parents physically and mentally abused me when I was a child. I never knew what affection was, so getting a little bit from him made me want to cling to him, and I am scared to lose it even now, despite the fact that he gives me panic attacks when he searches me like a criminal. Being alone is not worse than this. He's emotionally abusive. It's hard, but you need to leave before you make the mistake of marrying him or ending up pregnant. Do you have friends or family who can help support you? I think you already know you need to leave him. Your partner should never demand to go through every single message you've received every time you see them. And going through your contacts letter by letter is absolutely fucking ridiculous. There is so much better out there. Despite his efforts, you're still confident in your appearance. Be confident in the rest of you. You say you don't think there's anyone else who would want to marry you, but there's 7 billion people on this planet. I have a feeling there's a handful out there who would love to exchange vows once they know you and also not care about your goddamn contact list. You're young. You have your entire life ahead of you. You have decades to find someone, or just enjoy things solo. The power is in your hands. Things will only get worse. Get out now. Love, he is insecure and controlling. He also groomed you. Please leave him. You can do way better than him. It will only get worse if you stay. Please stay safe.